The story of David and Goliath is well known throughout the world, where a midget had fought a battle royal with a giant. The Buguns of Arunachal Pradesh may be David, for despite their negligible population of around 3,000 people, the Buguns managed to stand out amongst much larger tribes that surrounds them from all sides. One of the first tribes to get recognition as a scheduled tribe of then Nepal, now Arunachal Pradesh, Buguns were initially named as Khowas. It is much later that they changed their tribe's name from Khowa to Bugun. They are of Indo-Burmese Mongoloid race that had migrated from Northern Asia. Their history states that they had migrated from the Tibetan plateau by crossing the snow-clad mountains of the Himalayas. Since Buguns don't have a written script, these stories were passed down from generation to generation by storytelling. So, the verified version of their tale is difficult to ascertain. Medium built with pure Mongolian features, the first Buguns arrived in a place called Sokhonrai, situated between the present Bichom and Diching, both Bugun villages. When they migrated from Sokhonrai, 6 sections of the Buguns came into existence. The Brai Dua of Singchung village, Hakong Dua of Wangko village, Haji Dua of Bichom village, Khujun Dua of Namfri Mango village, and Hayeng Dua of Kaspi village. To unify all the 6 sections of Buguns, a socio-relation changing festival was started few years ago by the Buguns from all the villages, led by Mr. Naresh Glow. They named the festival Pamko Sawai, which means Mountain River Ritual, where a unique blending of all mountain river ritual takes place on one side with modern celebration of song, dance, food, culture and tradition on the other, with participants from all the sections of the Bugun tribe. Along with preserving of culture, the Buguns also excel in conserving the forest and the wildlife. When a child is born, there is an elaborate ritual. All the villagers, especially women, gather in the baby's home with gifts to bless the child. A priest performs the rituals for the child in an elaborate Bugun ritual to ensure a healthy and prosperous life. An engagement in a Bugun village is again a community celebration. The clan related to the groom congregates at the groom's house with gifts that include some domesticated animals and household goods. From there, at the auspicious time, they all go to the bride's house. There, the clan and the relatives of the bride, along with the family members, welcome them. Elders from both sides narrate about the clans, the history and expectations from both the sides. The parents of both bride and the bridegroom take turn to express their views and feelings about the ties they are going to share for the rest of their lives. Then comes the parents' time to show their happiness, and what more can be appropriate than getting up and dancing for all. A BUGUN marriage now follows the same ceremonial attributes as the Buddhist, since most of them now follow Mahayana Buddhism. A learned Buddhist monk sets the day and time for the marriage by going through the birth chart of both the groom and the bride. On the fixed day, a simple but elaborate marriage ceremony takes place in the bride's house. The Buddhist khada, the scarf that the Buddhists use for greeting and other ceremonial purposes, are garlanded on everyone. A housewarming celebration is in the offing. As the BUGUN tradition goes, all the villagers are invited, or rather involved in this celebration too. A woman shaman is rare but considered to be very powerful than men, and getting blessings from her is supposed to be more effective. After the initial ritual is over, she holds a rooster, walks around the house, followed by the elders and the house owner, then returns to the spot of initiation. The primary occupation of the BUGUNs is cultivation. Generally, it's a community affair where all the villagers shall cultivate for a family. They will pool in to cultivate another person's farm, then to next one's. Since high-altitude farming don't yield much food grains, like other hill tribes, BUGUNs depend on hunting and fishing to compensate the scarcity of eatables. A grandfather tags along with his 2 grandsons on a fishing trip to teach them the art of trapping fishes. The bamboo trap has been in use for generations. It's an effective way of trapping fresh fish. Fishing nets are another way. The fisherman knows exactly where to throw the net. Their expertise in using the net is at par with other fishermen of the world. They also know the timings when fishes would be out of their dwellings. It is then taken to a nearby stream where women take turns to pound it with big wooden hammers. Once pounded, a filtration process follows. That is the end of the processing activity. From one container to the other, the ladies keep working till the shredded fibers of the trees are removed and only fine wet dust of the product is yielded. This flour-like produce is called rangbhang by the BUGUNs. Nearby, another group is engaged in making bamboo mats for the grave. The ladies of the village arrive. The atmosphere is gloomy. Finally, a stretcher is made from tree branches and bamboo. At the time fixed by the priest, the dead is hauled and placed on the stretcher, which is then borne by 2 individuals. All the villagers follow the funeral procession. The BUGUNs have survived wars, famine, plagues, and other natural calamities. Despite their small numbers, they have been able to stand apart. This is proof that they will be there as long as the human race exists.